Hello, good morning. This is your daily outlook for Tuesday, the 3rd of April. The euro rebounded during yesterday's US session as world equities turned positive after positive economic data from China and the US eased fears about a global economic showdown. The single currency remained under pressure as the Eurozone problems still remain a concern. Italy's jobless rate increased to the highest level in over a decade, while the market is focusing on Spain and the latest austerity measures decided to control the country's budget deficit. Against the dollar, the single currency slid to 132.79, but later recovered to trade at 133.55. Against the Japanese yen, the euro dropped to 108.68 from 111.14. As the yen jumped yesterday on safe haven demand, focus now turns to the Eurozone gross domestic product and producer price index. The US dollar appeared weak yesterday as better than expected US manufacturing index spurred a higher risk appetite during the US session. Against the Japanese yen, the greenback slid to 81.55 from 83.30. Against the Canadian dollar, the dollar plummeted to 0.9888 from 0.9990, a 1% decline. Eyes now turn to the FOMC minutes expected today at 1800 GMT, but no change in monetary policy expectations are expected. What is interesting is to see whether the Fed will signal further quantitative easing ahead of this week's non-farm payroll data. In this scenario, where a more hawkish tone is revealed, the dollar may find support as expectations for more easing start to fade. The Australian dollar dropped today after the US dollar dropped, following the Reserve Bank of Australia monetary policy meeting. As expected, the RBA decided to keep interest rates on hold at 4.25%, but Governor Stevens said that the country's economic growth is somewhat lower than estimated, citing a weak housing market and soft labour market. Yesterday, the Aussie was supported by the Chinese PMI figures, which unexpectedly climbed, signalling that the country's manufacturing sector continues to expand. The pair dropped to 103.89 from 104.66. Looking at commodities, we saw oil prices rally to $105.44 a barrel from $102.03, a 3.3% rise. Gold rose to $1,683.36 an ounce from $1,662.80. Against the euro, gold rose to €1,265.68 from €1,250.39 an ounce. And silver ticked higher to $33.21 from $32.33. Now let's take a look at what the currencies are doing this morning. The euro-dollar pivot points at 133.05 with a preference to enter into long positions at 133.15. The dollar-yen pivot point is at 82.25 with a preference to enter into short positions at 82.20. The Aussie-dollar pivot point is at 104.50 with a preference to enter into short positions at 104.35. The sterling-dollar pivot point is at 160 with a preference to enter into long positions at 160.10. And the dollar CAD pivot point is at 0.9945 with a preference to enter into short positions at 0.9945. Looking at commodities, the oil pivot point is at 103.50 with a preference to enter into long positions at 103.50. The gold pivot point is at 1671 with a preference to enter into long positions at 1671. And the silver pivot point is at 32.55 with a preference to enter into long positions at 32.55. And of course, for more up-to-date information, please visit us at easy-forex.com. On the calendar, the market movers are the EU gross domestic product forecast to fall by 0.3%, the EU producer price index forecast to gain 0.5%, and the US factory orders forecast to gain 1.5%. Now onto equities. In Europe, the FTSE was up 1.85%, the DAX was up 1.58%, and the CAC was up 1.14%. In the US, the SP 500 was up 0.75%, and the Dow was up 0.40%. In Asia at the time of writing, the Nikkei was down 0.32%, and the Hang Seng was up 0.45%. This has been your Daily Outlook. I'm Emma Andrew from the Easy Forex Dealing Room. Have a good day.
Not only have you found a great place for Forex news, you found a great place to trade it. Registration is easy. Just click Join Now. Membership has its unique benefits, such as the freeze rate, the trade simulator, the inside viewer, and personal dealers. Your personal account manager waiting for you now.